Dow Jones Futures Dow Jones Futures jobs report Looms GME stock spikes on NFT's crypto plans. Dow Jones futures were little changed early Friday, while SP 500 futures and Nasdaq Q futures rose slightly with the December jobs report due before the open. The stock market rally on Thursday tried to rebound, but feeble gains turned to slim losses on the major indexes as Apple stock and Tesla retreated. The 10-year Treasury yield continued to climb near pandemic highs, while crude oil prices rose solidly. Banks and energy stock continued to advance as well. Outside of those two areas, Arista Networks, Zim Integrated Shipping, Dow Jones Component Home Depot, Taiwan Semiconductor, and Hilton Hotels are 5 stocks worth watching. All are holding up reasonably well. Some are near possibly entire, while others are potentially actionable now, though investors should be cautious about any buys with the stock market rally under pressure. Meanwhile, Apple retreated again, closing below its 21-day moving average for the first time in 3 months. Tesla stock fell below its 50-day moving average. Finally, meme stocks DVS and GameStop GME rallied in news. Trump stocks PS, partner Digital World Acquisition Corp, surged in Thursday session as the former president gets ready to launch his social media site next month. GME stock skyrocketed overnight as the video game retailer launches a unit to enter the NFT and cryptocurrency markets. Tesla and Anet stock are on IBD leaderboard. Zim stock, Arista Networks, and Tesla are on the IBD 50. Top 50. Jobs report. The Labor Department will release the December jobs report at 8:30 a.m. AT. Economists expect to see non-farm payrolls rising by 400,000 in November. Payrolls rose by just 210,000 but the separate household survey showed a big employment jump, driving the jobless rate down to 44%. Wall Street forecast an unemployment dip to 4% in December. Economists also expect the labor force participation rate to nudge up to 61% as workers slowly re-enter the workforce. That participation rate may be the key number in the December jobs report as the workers balance Omicron concerns versus dwindling pandemic savings. Now, how quickly and how many missing workers return to the labor force is a key factor for wage hikes and longer-term inflation pressure. And how fast the Federal Reserve will tighten policy as 2021 goes on. Dow Jones futures today. Dow Jones futures were about even versus fair value. SP 500 futures rose less than 0.1%. Nasdaq Q 100 futures climbed 0.1%. The 10-year Treasury yield edged up 1 basis point into 2%. Crude oil prices rose slightly. The December jobs report is sure to move Treasury yields and Dow Jones futures before the open and beyond. The initial market moves may quickly reverse. Remember, the overnight action in Dow futures and elsewhere doesn't necessarily translate into actual trading in the next regular stock market session. Stock market rally. The stock market rally saw modest intraday gains turn into small losses for the major indexes, a big follow-up to Wednesday's sharp sell-off. The Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 0.5% in Thursday's stock market trading. The S&P 500 index dipped 0.1%. The Nasdaq U Composite is slid 0.1%. The small gap Russell 2000 advanced 0.6%. Humana crashed 19% and on a profit warning, also knocking other health insurers, with Dow Jones component in United Health down 4.1% to its 50 days line. The 10-year Treasury yields rose about 3 basis points to 2%, just below the March 2021 peak of 1.76%, which is the highest since January 2020. Is up 22 basis points this week. The 2-year Treasury yield climbed 5 basis points on Thursday to 0.88%. St. Louis Fed President James Bullard says that the first Fed rate hike could come in March, right after the Fed bond taper brings asset purchases to zero. On Wednesday, Fed minutes from the December policy meeting signaled that the central bank could start to reduce its massive balance sheets soon after the first rate hike. United States crude oil futures rose 2% to $79 a barrel, the higher close since November 16. Apple stock sank 1.7% to 172 below its 21-day line. The Dow touched Titan was only 3.1% for the week and still close to all-time heights. But the APL stocks retreat shows that even the biggest, strongest stage are under pressure. Tesla stock retreated 2.15% to 1,000 of intraday lows, but closing below its 50-day line. After peaking 13.5% on Monday on Blue Wall Q4 deliveries, shares are up less than 1% from there. Monday's move vaulted Tesla stock past a 1,119 handled by point. At this point, investors should probably look to just above 1,200 for a trigger now. Okay guys, it's all for today. Today we talked about Dow Jones Futures jobs report Looms, and hope it was interesting. See you in my next videos.